Let's now bring in Doyin Johnson, a public affairs analyst, of course, to talk more about what has just happened, of course, at the Federal High Court. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Good afternoon.
Well, the suit filed by Dino to stop his recall was thrown out as lacking merit, according to Justice Dingba of the Federal High Court. Was it correct?
It's very, very correct. Very, very, very correct. Because recall process has stages and category. He, as a senator, serving senator, or whatever position he occupies, by the virtues of the rule, he has no power to stop the recall process. If you can remember vividly, the process started sometimes around June. It got to referendum stage. After the senatorial district were able to present about 52%, over 52% of the entire voters registers that want Dino to be recalled, it now got to the INEC. From that stage again, INEC moved on to the next stage. So at that stage, before the recall processes could start, they have to notify the senator in question, in which Dino himself was notified. But at that course, Dino approached the court of law in order for him to stop the recall. Meanwhile, he has breached his own constitutional right and citizen right and human right. He has violated those things.
Was that the reason that Justice Dingba also ruled that they failed to exhaust the domestic remedy granted by, of course, the verification and the procedure?
You see, on that aspect, the voter register is what that must be used for the recall. And the voter register of that senatorial district was used to kickstart the process. And when they got to that stage, they have been able to do the appropriate thing for them to have the justification of having the higher percentage of those that doesn't want him to represent them any longer, based on their personal reasons, in which many of us who are not even from that area can be able to testify to the way he behaves on the plenary, most especially. On that aspect, the process cannot be altered by the service, by the senator himself. It will go to a stage where they will invite the both party, both the INEC, the constituency have done their own, they have handed over to the INEC. The case now is between INEC and the senator in question. So senator's question in question needs to wait pending the time the court will invite both him and the electoral body to stop or to continue the recalling process. But by the virtue of constitutional right, the constituency has been able to meet up the constitutional requirement for him to be recalled.
Now, Melaye, in his response after the judgment, did say that the presence of the Attorney General of the state and, of course, the Commissioner for Justice in court showed that there was some sort of collaborative effort between INEC and the state government to get him out of where he is at the moment. Do you see one thing? One
thing I see in the Nigerian system, once the process or the procedures or the action did not favor a particular person, they will be attacking the body who is under that particular project or program, or whatever they call names we call it. They call it a kind of coalition or collide or ganging against the senator. It wasn't like that. It is obvious to entire Nigeria what the senator has been doing in the plenary. He is by the virtue, if he leaves that place in the next 2-3 years, he is supposed to be an elder statesman in the country. An elder statesman, a serving senator, is the first class anywhere in the world. Either you have lived the plenary or your tenure has expired, you are a first-class citizen. So a gangster, somebody that behaves like gangster on the floor of plenary, that talk anyhow, that will put on the convocation down to the plenary for what purpose? Somebody that almost beat up a senator like him during the plenary. National Assembly represents Nigeria. It represents our image globally. The place is not meant for gangster. It's not meant for those who are claiming to be an hoodlums due to their behaviors and characters. It's supposed to be for the gentlemen who are men of honor. It's supposed to be for those who have dignities, who have respect for themselves and for the people they are representing. It's supposed to be for those who have fear of God and human feelings.
All right, but do you think there was anything wrong at all in the Attorney General and, of course, the Commissioner for Justice of the state being in court? Does that not raise, some sort of suspicion?
By the virtues of the stages, it started from the constituency. And the Attorney General represented the state. So his presence at the court of law has nothing to do with the recall. The recall has to do with the INEC electoral body who has been able to start the process themselves, in which they have been able to conduct the referendum. They were able to get 52% above for the recall process. That qualified the INEC. Assuming they have gotten 48, the process wouldn't have come up. For them to have gotten that kind of number automatically, that has nothing to do with the Attorney General or Chief of Staff or whoever is at the court of law.
All right, now, of course, as we know, INEC has ordered the verification exercise to begin. At this point, what if Melaye decides to appeal that judgment? What happens next?
Melaye cannot appeal the judgment because it's the people that voted for him and put him there. Those that say, okay, this man, go and represent us here. They say you are not representing them well any longer. They want to recall you. You say you don't want to leave. So the only thing he has to do, either the registers was forged or not, what he needs to do, he has to wait till the time that the court will invite both the INEC and call for the registers of the voters they used in conducting the referendum, and where they will invite the Senator Dino. I think that is likely to be this September or early October. They will invite the two parties. It's not a cook and kick stuff. The two parties will come and they will make presentations whereby there will be arguments and presentations. So after that, he cannot, if he see any evidence against himself that did not favor him or that was used to just to maltreat him or to cheat on him, you understand what I'm saying? He cannot recall, he cannot sue them for that, or he can challenge them. But presently, as at the time he files suit against that, that cannot work. All
right. Public Affairs Analyst Doyin Johnson, well, thank you very much indeed for coming to share your thoughts with us.
You're welcome.
Right.